Hey there, and welcome to This Explainer. Let's just dive right in, shall we? Today, I'm going to capture the absolute essentials of Tony Robbins' ultimate wealth building playbook in 8 minutes or less. We're distilling decades, and I mean decades, of financial mastery into a super clear, actionable guide so you can face the future with total confidence. So, what does it actually mean to be financially unshakable? I want you to take a second and just imagine having unwavering confidence and absolute peace of mind. Seriously, picture it for a moment. Imagine knowing deep down in your soul that even when global economic storms rage and market crashes hit, you and your family are totally secure. That is exactly what it means to be unshakable. It's not just about, having a bunch of money in the bank. It's a state of mind where fear simply doesn't control you. And that right there is the core promise of Tony Robbins' playbook. Now, what makes this material so incredibly valuable is that it distills the core insights of 50 of the world's greatest financial minds. We're talking absolute titans here, like Warren Buffett, Ray Dalio, and Jack Bogle. It's basically a roadmap designed to help us navigate through all that financial fear and step confidently into lasting financial freedom. But let's be real for a second. The legendary investor Howard Marks completely nailed the reality of our current economic landscape with a pretty harsh truth. He said, if you're not confused, you don't understand what's going on. And honestly, we are living in bizarre times. Consider this crazy fact. For the first time in 5,000 years of banking history, first world countries have actually seen negative interest rates. We've even seen the finance arm of Toyota issue bonds yielding a tiny 0.001%. At that rate, it would literally take you almost 70,000 years to double your money. I mean, the whole system is just totally upside down. So look, if you're feeling a little confused by all this, trust me, you are in excellent company. Tony Robbins actually sat down with former Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan, a guy who wielded immense economic power under 4 sitting U.S. presidents. And when asked what he would do in today's insane central banking environment with all its intense volatility, Greenspan paused, leaned forward, and gave a one-word answer: resign. And when the experts are confused, the public panics. Just look at what happened back in January 2016. A staggering $2.3 trillion went up in smoke in just a matter of days. $2.3 trillion. It was the absolute worst 10-day start to a year in stock market history, and the whole world was freaking out. Everyone was convinced the big one had finally arrived. The fear just spread like wildfire. But here is the absolutely crucial point to counter all that panic, courtesy of Vanguard founder Jack Bogle. When everyone else is running for the exits, his advice is brilliantly simple. Don't do something, just stand there. See, the true masters of the financial universe, they know that the greatest danger to your financial health isn't a market crash. Nope. The real danger is being out of the market entirely and missing the inevitable rebound. Fear isn't rewarded in investing. Courage is. So, since not even Alan Greenspan can predict the future or the economy, we have to focus intensely on what we actually can control. You don't have to possess a crystal ball to win this game. Instead, you just need to protect yourself from the hidden obstacles, these sneaky financial termites that are quietly eating away at your wealth while you're completely distracted by market volatility. And the biggest financial termite of them all? Hidden fees. Guys, this is a massive wake-up call. Compounding hidden fees in actively managed mutual funds can absolutely devastate your wealth. Get this. Over an investing lifetime of, say, 60 years, excessive fees can confiscate an astounding 70% of your total lifetime returns. Think about that for a second. You take 100% of the risk, you put up 100% of the capital, and you might only keep 30% of the reward. It's totally wild. Let's actually break that down into a real-world scenario to put it into perspective. Imagine 2 people, right? They're both investing $100,000 over 30 years, and both are getting the exact same 8% return. The only difference, one pays a 1% annual fee, and the other pays a 2% fee. While the investor paying that extra 1% fee will actually run out of retirement money a full decade sooner, 10 whole years. Minimizing fees is a massive, highly controllable step toward accelerating your path to financial freedom. Okay, let's pivot into the action plan, the actual playbook of the money masters. Core principle number 1 is shockingly simple. Don't lose money. While amateurs are out there obsessing over how can I make the most money, the real titans of finance are completely obsessed with avoiding losses. Why? It's just the math of it all. If you lose 50% of your portfolio, you don't need a 50% gain to get back to where you started. You need a 100% gain just to get back to zero. It's a really tough hole to climb out of. Which leads us perfectly into the rest of the Core 4 playbook. The real secret?
Asymmetric risk-reward. It sounds complicated, but it's not. The greatest investors don't buy into the myth that you need to take massive risks for big returns. Instead, they hunt for ways to risk pennies to make dollars. You combine that with embracing broad diversification across different asset classes, minimizing those pesky fees and taxes we talked about, and finally, consistently rebalancing your portfolio to stick to your plan, and boom, that is exactly how you slay a bear market.
And when you actually implement these principles, especially smart asset allocation, the results are just incredible. Take hedge fund legend Ray Dalio, for example. He engineered this all-seasons portfolio strategy that's specifically designed to weather any economic environment. Over the last 75 years, this specific asset allocation strategy would have actually made money 85% of the time. 85%. That is the sheer power of being prepared for winter, instead of just reacting to it when it arrives. Now, here is where we need to make a major philosophical pivot. We've spent all this time talking about money, but real wealth isn't just financial, is it? It's emotional, it's psychological, and it's spiritual. I mean, having millions in the bank means absolutely nothing if you're still suffering emotionally, constantly stressed out, and living with this mindset of scarcity. That is definitely not a victory. So, how do we achieve that true, rich fulfillment? Well, it actually comes down to an absolute science based on two fundamental principles. Step one, you must keep growing. Seriously, everything in life either grows or dies. And the secret to human happiness, in one single word, is progress. Step two, you have to give. Human beings aren't inherently selfish. We are deeply driven by contribution. Shifting your psychology from what you can get to what you can give, that is the ultimate game changer for true emotional wealth. And we're going to conclude today with this incredibly powerful thought on abundance from the legendary Sir John Templeton. He tells us that to overcome fear, the best thing is to be overwhelmingly grateful. You can possess this wealth right now simply by shifting your focus to gratitude and abundance. So, what are you grateful for today that makes you truly unshakable? If you enjoyed this, subscribe to In 8 Minutes and never miss what matters.